Meghan. I'm not friends with Meghan, but I do think it's...
You met her?
Like, if you don't talk about her, she won't annoy you. And it's like, everyone who talks about her has never met her. And it's like, I don't know why any of you care.
Well, she keeps doing TV shows.
So well, don't watch them then. Lots of you do TV shows. Lots of people don't watch that either. They get wound up. Just change channel. There's lots of other options out there.
Yeah, but there's one.
It's a self-perpetuating thing. The reason she gets commissions is because people like us talk about it because we get wound up by it. So she gets.
Is Harry all right though? Because he looks really, really depressed.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something I'm going to talk about at great length.
Okay, fair enough. Well, there you go.
But he's not. When you say he's all right, I mean, he's fine.
But I think that the reason that we talk about her is because she's so jolly annoying.
No, you talk about her because it gets clicks and views, and the public are nosy and interested.
No, honestly, I think she's really annoying.
Well, but fine. There's lots of things that's annoying. I ignore them. I find mosquitoes annoying. I don't live anywhere where they are.
So, did you all see that? Did you all witness what just happened on GB News? The unofficial Thirsty Island Olympics where Meghan Sussex is their entire personality. Because right there, on live television, a comedian had to sit these grown adults down like unruly toddlers and explain the basic science of, if something annoys you, just stop watching it. I mean, imagine that. The British media actually being told that they don't have to obsess over Meghan Sussex. The shock, the horror. The confusion on their faces was almost poetic. You could practically hear the gears grinding in Patrick and Jane's heads like, wait, we can choose not to watch Meghan. That's allowed. Honestly, Archie Manners didn't even try to drag them. He simply dropped common sense, and the entire panel acted like he just presented alien technology. GB News collapsed like a souffle in a thunderstorm. Because let's be real, these people don't hate Meghan Sussex. No, no, no. They're addicted to her. She is their headline, their content, their business model, their air supply. If Meghan retired to a deserted island tomorrow, they'd still be helicoptering in drones trying to photograph her shadow. They need her the way trolls need Wi-Fi. And the funniest part? Archie literally pointed out the truth they've been avoiding since 2018. They are the reason she keeps getting commissioned. They talk, they whine, they foam at the mouth, they trend her name, and boom, Netflix looks at the numbers like, oh wow, Meghan stays feeding the algorithm. Approved. Meanwhile, GB News pretends like Meghan is some unstoppable nuisance invading their homes, when in reality, they're sitting there voluntarily doom-clicking her content like toddlers pressing a red do not touch button. They can't stop. They won't stop. And they blame her for their lack of self-control. It's giving obsessed ex who checks your Instagram every night but claims they've moved on. Now let's get into the Christmas special, the supposed reason for their meltdown. Meghan Sussex is dropping a wholesome, uplifting, holiday-themed project, and somehow the British media has reacted like she's releasing a villain origin story. A Christmas special. Christmas. The most innocent, marshmallow soft thing you can possibly create. And yet the panels on GB News are discussing it like she's launching a nuclear missile. She's so annoying. She's everywhere. She's doing another show. Please. These are the same people who binge-watch 5 hours of content just so they can scream, "I hate her," at the screen like it's a sport. And did you catch how the moment someone speaks positively or neutrally about Meghan, the whole room goes into shock mode? GB News hates when their narrative gets interrupted. Archie was simply like, maybe, just maybe, the constant complaints are the issue. And suddenly Patrick and Jane behaved like he committed treason. You could almost see the emergency alarms flashing behind their eyes. The funniest part is that Archie wasn't even caping for Meghan. He wasn't in superfan mode. He was just calling out the obvious. The obsession is ridiculous. If she bothers you, stop watching. If her shows bother you, don't click them. But no, that requires self-control, which GB News hasn't had since King Charles had natural hair colour. And let's talk about this Harry looks depressed trope. Oh, GB News loves that storyline. They've built an entire career on inventing new emotional diagnoses for Harry every other week. Meanwhile, Harry's out here in Montecito, in Canada, travelling, working, signing deals, building a life, loving his wife, loving his kids, smiling in every event he chooses to attend. But the moment GB News finds a still photo where he's blinking at the wrong angle, they're like, he's miserable. Totally miserable. Blink twice if you need rescuing. It's delusional. It's fan fiction at this point. Archie shut that down with the swiftness. Not even on his watch were they about to push their usual Harry trapped in darkness storyline. And you know when someone cuts off a GB News fantasy? They panic. Their heads spin like a broken washing machine. But the most delicious moment of all? When Archie points out that the real reason they talk about Meghan is because it gets them clicks and attention. He said the quiet truth out loud, right in their faces, and their reaction was priceless, defensive, flustered, exposed, like someone walked in on them counting their Meghan ad revenue coins. Because that's the truth. They pretend to hate her. But she pays their bills. She funds their lights. She fuels their ratings. She is the only reason half these panellists still have jobs. Meghan Sussex is GB News' unofficial CEO, and she doesn't even work there. Imagine that level of power. Let's break this down even more, because the hypocrisy is just too rich. GB News says Meghan is irrelevant, yet they talk about her daily. They say they don't care about her, yet they analyse every move she makes, down to her shoelaces. They say she's annoying, yet they can't go 24 hours without injecting her into every unrelated topic. They say she's desperate for attention, yet they are the ones chasing her name for views. Make it make sense. This is not journalism. This is obsession dressed up as news, sprinkled with jealousy, and packaged for people who need someone to blame for their miserable mornings. Archie Manners accidentally became the hero of the day by pointing out the obvious truth nobody there wanted to hear. Meghan Sussex is not the problem. Their addiction to Meghan is. Now let's get into why Meghan's Christmas special is driving them up the wall. It's because Meghan succeeds without their approval. She gets booked. She gets commissions. She gets invited. Her projects trend. Her name dominates headlines. Her content gets global attention, and this rattles the British media to their core, because deep down, they hoped her leaving the royal family would be the end of her. They prayed for failure, they begged for embarrassment, they wished for irrelevance, and instead, she built a new brand, a new audience, a new public image, a new industry presence. And now she's releasing a Christmas special, something family-friendly, uplifting, warm, and global. And they hate it. They despise that she keeps thriving in spaces they can't control. So they perform this fake outrage like the mere existence of a Christmas show has personally harmed them. As if she broke into their homes and stole their remote controls. It's pathetic. It's tired. It's expected. And you know what makes this even more embarrassing for GB News? This wasn't even a Meghan Defender fan. This wasn't a Sussex squad member. This wasn't a Hollywood insider. This wasn't a PR rep. It was a comedian looking at them and saying, "You all look ridiculous." When comedians start calling you unserious, whew, that's rock bottom. Archie Manners came to promote something entirely different and still had to school them, because the Meghan hysteria was just too loud, too desperate, too absurd. He basically said, if you're annoyed, stop watching her. And their brain circuits malfunctioned. We should send Archie a fruit basket. And can we talk about how Patrick and Jane instantly jumped into their victim-y little "but she's annoying" routine? They sounded like toddlers complaining about broccoli. Imagine this line. She's annoying. Okay, and? Move on. The world is full of things you think are annoying. Other people ignore them and continue on with their lives. But GB News built an entire network around complaining about a woman who has never done anything to them. She's not in their WhatsApp groups. She's not emailing them at midnight. She's not even in the same country. And yet they behave like she personally robbed them. It's giving delusion. It's giving obsession. It's giving, I talk about her more than I talk to my own family. The truth is this. Meghan Sussex is living rent-free in their heads, and Archie Manners just turned the lights on in the attic. He exposed the cobwebs. He found the shrine. He located the secret Meghan mood board they pretend they don't have. And the panel could not handle it. This moment will go down as one of the few times GB News got humbled on their own platform, and by a comedian no less. It was refreshing, it was hilarious, it was necessary. And finally, let's end on this. As Meghan releases her Christmas special, as Netflix secures another global hit, as she prepares to dominate the holiday season while minding her business, GB News will continue screaming into the void, pretending they're not secretly boosting her career with every rant. Archie Manners didn't defend Meghan out of loyalty. He defended reality, and that's what makes his comments even more powerful. Because the truth is undeniable. Meghan isn't the problem. They are. And the more they talk, the higher her star rises. So in a way, GB News is Meghan's unofficial marketing department. She should send them a thank you card, and maybe a copy of her Christmas special, just so they can pretend they're hate-watching while giving her more views.